I got another doe. It's like doe-orama. And that's a decent sized deer. A lot of meat will come off that animal to go on the table. Now, to put this into perspective for you, I put in 3.5 days of hunting for this firearm season. That's hunting morning and evening, taking a short break early afternoon. And I got 2 deer out of this season. I got my first one on opening day, and I got this one on the last day of the season. That's pretty good considering there's a 30% success rate in Minnesota during the firearm season. As per our tradition, I take the tenderloins out that night, put them on a hot grill, sprinkle some mushrooms on them, serve up a little wine. What a great meal. I'll tell you, my family really comes around the table, and I love bringing home game to my family and serving them up a meal like this. But you know, the story that I'm going to remember out of this season is the one I missed. Check out this big bruiser. Now, I'm going to say conservatively he's at least 180 pounds, but he's probably closer to 200. He would have been the biggest deer I've ever taken horn-wise. He's got 10 points on that rack. And I missed him. He came right up for the perfect shot, turned sideways for me, and the slug went right in front of him, and he just ran up the cornfield. And I couldn't even make any follow-up shots because the blast from the initial shot blew back the gases. The wind was blowing just right into my scope and fogged it up. And I just watched him run off. No big deal, though, I'm telling you. I was happy to see him, and I certainly wasn't disappointed with this season. You guys know how I feel about horns. I can't eat them, so it really doesn't matter to me. I'm just very grateful I did not wound him. It turns out my scope mounts on the front, they were loose. And if they're off just a little bit, it's going to be off by feet when you're shooting at them. So I'm very grateful that I didn't wound him. In fact, I saw him later on when I was out stock hunting, and he grunted at me. So I know he's still out there. He's okay, and I'll be back. Anyway, this has been a really good season for me. I ended up giving away that second deer because I had already gotten one for archery season early, and then I had a second one in the freezer, so I was feeling pretty good. And usually in a deer camp, you share the meat, with the guys that get deer. You share it with the guys that don't get deer. It makes it a little less painful, the cost of the whole thing for them. It's unusual to give away a whole deer. I've never done that, but I feel like I already had 2 deer, and so I had plenty. And I don't want you to think that hunting is easy, because it's not. It certainly isn't anything like the shows, the sports of field shows that you see. Hunting's very difficult, guys. There's only a 17% success rate for archers in Minnesota, and there's a 30% success rate for firearms in Minnesota. And there's a lot of deer in Minnesota. They're just a very clever animal. But I feel like the best thing that you can do towards a successful hunt is actually pre-season work when you're doing that scouting to figure out where the deer are moving. That's going to help you get in front of them when hunting comes around. For me, though, it was just, with or without the deer, it was just a great season. In fact, the 2 deer that I got to spend a little time with a 79-year-old guy, and we cleaned 2 deer up together. And that was kind of nice for me because I had lost my father when I was so young. So it was nice to spend a little time with him. So beautiful out there. It's like a detox for me. So I got a couple more seasons coming up. I've got archery till December 31st. I'm looking forward to the snowy and cooler weather to do that, and I actually think I'm going to take up a black powder hunt this year. My biggest disappointment is towards you guys in the channel. I bought a new camera, but it didn't do me any good. I got to get some better mounts to mount them to either my bow or the rifle and get some better shots. I just, it's a lot of work trying to hunt and get the shot at the same time, and you're the only guy out there. But I've got some ideas I'll work on. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking this out. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.